Hey everyone, SweetJohnnyCage here, back with another guide for Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. This time I'm going to show you how to take down the Furnace Golem that you will find just outside of the Scorched Ruin in the Gravesite plain early on in the game. Furnace Golems are not necessarily super difficult to fight mechanically. They can and will deal a ton of damage to you, however, so you do have to respect them, but these are kind of like the new Erdtree avatar bosses in the Realm of Shadow, in so much that you're going to be running into them a bunch, and every time you defeat one, at least so far in my experience, you will get a tier for your flask, so you're going to have to deal with these things a lot. That said, this video will show you sort of all their attacks and how to successfully eat every single one of them, but the general idea when fighting them is that you want to watch out for their legs, and when their legs start to erupt in fire, they're going to stomp, and when that stomp comes out, you want to double jump on Torrent to avoid it. The fire will still be on the floor, however, it doesn't linger in terms of dealing damage. The fire will actually stop dealing damage basically once it hits the ground. So as long as you double jump after a stomp and double jump basically as soon as that fire hits the ground, you're going to avoid it no problem. So I've actually also managed to avoid it just by single jumping without Torrent. It is kind of difficult to time that. The double jump really does help. The general strategy for these guys is to just keep whacking their legs with whatever weapon you have. Magic should also do the trick just fine. But just keep whacking their legs, and you will notice that you're going to start to hear the stun sound. However, they will not get stunned right away. Instead, what's going to happen is you need to stun them several times. So it's sort of like the trolls from Stormhill very early on in the base game. Kind of the same idea, where you can sort of temporarily stun them, but you won't actually get that full critical until you stun them a couple times. So for at least this Furnace Golem, I had to stun it 3 times before it actually fell. And then once it falls, you want to look out for one of the masks on its side, and then that mask will begin to glow, and then you can get a critical on the mask, and that's going to deal like 30,000 damage. I think on this one it deals about 13, but it's about like 40% of their health. So that's really what you're looking for. Just keep whacking its legs, and eventually it will fall down. Then you get a critical on one of the masks, and then you just got to do that once, maybe 2 more times if your damage happens to be super low. You saw there that the Furnace Golem can actually jump in the air like it's Jordan. For that, it's the same exact way to avoid the damage. Just jump and then double jump once the fire begins to spread. The boss does have a grab attack that, in my experience, will one-shot you, so you don't want to get hooked up by it. That's easier said than done. But basically, the way you just avoid having to even deal with it is try to stay behind the boss as you whack its legs, and then it really shouldn't even go to use that attack. But if you notice that it's sort of like lurching forward and its legs aren't glowing and you can sort of see its hands begin to flail a bit, just run behind the boss and stay behind it, and you should be fine. The animation of getting grabbed by this thing is actually kind of funny, so it's worth eating it once just to see it. But as you can see here, the boss goes down, and then I am going to unsuccessfully get the riposte here because I didn't really know what I was looking for at this point. But basically, the boss is down, and then you have plenty of time to get that riposte or that critical. It just stays down for so long. It's even longer than a dragon in my experience. So once it goes down, feel free to do some extra damage around the mask and then try to get the critical on the mask. But as you saw there, it dealt like 30,000 damage, and we're just recycling this fight again. Whenever you're fighting these things, I recommend just stay beneath its legs. I hadn't kind of figured that out until about the end of this fight. And throughout the beginning of this video, you saw me jump into all the lava attacks. Those are really easily avoided as long as you stay near its legs. And that's it. I'll let the rest of the video play out, but that's the general strategy for these things. Just double jump when the fire starts to spread on the ground, and you should be okay. I have noticed that Torrent tends to take a lot more damage in the Realm of Shadow than it did in the Lands Between. I'm not really sure what's up with that. I'm not sure if they're going to patch that or if that's intended, but be very careful. Watch Torrent's health bar. Feel free to feed him raisins if you can. But just keep on going, and eventually it'll go down. But But that's it. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out. If you're looking for more guides for Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, please subscribe to the channel so you get alerted when new videos go live. If you're interested in supporting the channel monetarily, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button below this video. You can also leave a super thanks by clicking the heart icon below this video. Don't forget to join the community Discord. The link for that is in the description below. As always, I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.